Everybody, it's me. I want to do a quick video and I want to talk about the election. And obviously, you guys know me. My stance on things are very straightforward. I don't sugarcoat things, and apparently my honest viewpoints are controversial. So let's get into it. Let me be the first one to say, I'm not going to be one of these people that try to say, oh, I'm moderate, I'm independent, I don't have opinions on things, I'm not left, I'm not right, I'm just totally in the middle and care less about anything that's going on. I'm just old moderate person over here. That's not me, okay? I obviously have viewpoints, I have beliefs. I don't know if that makes me a leftist. I don't know if that makes me on the right. I don't know if it makes me on the middle, but I obviously have clear opinions. And the reason why I say I don't understand the left or right is because it changes day to day. But yes, I have beliefs, and I'm unapologetic about that. Hi, Oakley. Yes. I'm also not going to be one of those people that tries to tell you that, I don't care about the political climate of things and that politics isn't important, because it is. It's every day. It's reality. It's life. It is what happens with every single breath in this country. Everything we do is a political stance on something. Your opinions on things are political. As somebody who is so-called, because I'm not a prepper, but as so-called preppers go, everything you buy is a political decision that you make, because the sheer ability to buy things in capitalistic society is you participating in your ideology. And so the truth of the matter is, who's going to be elected as president is going to change the landscape of how things are, whether you like it or not, for good or bad. And for me, I'm just going to be very simple and basic with it from a preparedness, not a prepper, from a preparedness and sustainability mindset for where I'm at currently. I live here in the country, in the boonies, wherever you want to call it, and I live in a place where my community is very, very vocal and very, very active. 110% vocal, 110% active. It's just the truth. People go to city council meetings. People care about where stop signs are put, if they're put anywhere. People are very involved in any process. I don't care if it's a stop sign. I don't care if it's a water levy. I don't care what it is. They're politically involved, and everybody's going to be talking about it, and everyone's going to be voting on it. As you can see my shirt, I'm sorry, I thought this was America. I'm wearing Oakley sunglasses, cowboy boots, blue jeans, have obviously I can conceal carry, this is what the gray man looks like in my neck of the woods. You know what I mean? Anywhere else, this would be seen as, oh, you're not being gray man, you're too tactical. Well, guess what? Where I come from, this is as gray man as it gets. Blend right on in. So with that being said, these are some of the things I'm thinking about, okay? Food production. I'm a food producer. I produce food. That's what I do. I grow food because food is important. We consume it every single day. But from a getting ready for the election standpoint, we know two things are going to happen, okay? If Biden and Kamala Harris are elected as president and VP, our economy is going to crash. There's no doubts about that. Taxes on everyday people like us are going to go up, okay? All these government subsidies and programs are going to go up. Individual liberties and abilities to do anything, whether that be use petrochemicals, which I'm not a big fan of, owning a firearm, everything is going to be much more expensive and much more difficult to do. In a Trump presidency, we can expect to see people not want to accept the election results. We can expect that the economy is going to do what it has historically done in his presidency. We can expect that people that are preppers are going to be a little bit more calm and at ease about things. We're going to see that we are going to have a much more aggressive Trump candidacy, okay? And so those are just the realities of the situation. They're not, yes, we can debate them. I'm all about debating them. But at the end of the day, that's how it's going to be. Don't believe me. Let's just wait for the results, because either way, one of the two are going to happen. What I said or what I said. You know what I mean? So that's what we can expect. So from a sustainability preparedness standpoint, I'm in this thought process of juggling between sustainability and economy. And they're both pretty similar. They're both way more sustainable than 99% of the population. But in reality, I got to choose. Am I going to keep the current animals that I have on hand, even though I'm not the biggest fans of them because of the economic value? Or am I going to stick with the animals that I currently like and enjoy raising for more of a sustainability purpose? And this is what I'm talking about. Here on the homestead, we have a very diverse portfolio, okay? We have sheep, cattle, quail, turkeys, ducks, chickens, rabbits. I mean, we got a bunch of diversity here on the homestead. And so with that comes the ability for the economy portion of it, right? I can tell you since the pandemic started, up until just recently, I have not been able to keep any livestock animals on the homestead. They have been going like hotcakes. I've been able to totally do so many projects. I was able to remodel inside my home, buy furniture, buy farm equipment, all sorts of stuff that I was able to do just off of the proceeds from sustainable living, okay? And so that's great. That's awesome. And I can really all thank that to people freaking out about the pandemic. It is what it is. It's the truth. So under a Biden-Kamala Harris presidency, I can expect more people to want to get involved in quail, in chicken, in, rabbits, things like that. I can expect more people to want to go full steam ahead on that. My incubators have been running nonstop 24/7. Now I'm down to just one incubator going because things are slowing down. People are waiting for the results of the election. So like I said, with a Joe Biden, Kamala Harris presidency, I can expect people to be wanting lots of poultry items, and it's going to be important to have those items. Even though it may taper off, I believe that if they win election, people are going to want them even in the wintertime when it's harder to house them. People are going to go through the effort to get that done. I also believe that we're not going to know what's going to happen to big agriculture if they're elected based upon all the restrictions and regulations that are going to be happening. Who knows if we're going to be able to go to the feed store and order, chickens, ducks, quail, turkeys at a reasonable rate, at a reasonable price, so I'd rather have them in that instance and not need them than need them and not have them. Realistically, we saw how hard it was to get poultry items during the whole pandemic scene. So having the bigger strain of big government, having the bigger strain of a bad economy, I don't know what that's going to look like. And most importantly, regardless of that, I have them already. If they're elected, if the Dems get their way, I'm going to be able to, make a pretty penny off having those diverse, livestock animals. Now, with a Trump presidency, I don't think that there's going to be a huge need for, the chickens, the quail. I think people are going to sigh a breath of fresh air of relief. The only people that are not going to be relieved are going to be far leftists and liberals. And guess what? They're not preppers anyway. At least they're not the ones that are, going to be out, patroning small homesteads like mine. So in that case, there's really no need for me to have this huge diversity, because if I need to get them again, I'll be able to. I have really no doubts about that. And I will be able to focus more on my sustainability projects rather than, focusing on the horrible economy that we're about to inherit if we do have a Democratic-led presidency. So the few of the sustainability projects that I'm working on are really focusing on my ruminant animals, my cattle, my sheep. They're all pasture raised or grass fed. So I really want to get my livestock in those regards bigger. I want to get that operation going bigger. As far as my rabbits go, they're 100% pasture raised. So I want to get that process even bigger than I have it. And I really want to focus on my homestead birds. So what we're doing is we're really doing and focusing a lot on genetics this year. That's the huge goal. And I basically want to create a homestead bird that lays as many eggs as a laying birds do, but I want to be able to have a 5-pound meat bird between 10 to 12 weeks. And I want them to be hardy, and I want them to be pasture raised mostly. You can see here, we're starting to get bigger birds. So you can see this is a mixed flock, but you see that one bird there that's way bigger than the rest of them? That's what we want. So that's his brothers and sisters there are the average size, right? But as you can see, we got a big boy in there. So that's what we're looking for. And those are the kind of the projects that we're doing currently right now on the homestead. So, I'm very excited about that. And that's really what I want to be putting my effort into. And so obviously we're doing this by incorporating, the Cornish cross here. As you can see here, we're introducing these into our breeding program. And if you guys know from the other videos I've done on them, they're not the genetically modified ones. They are just Cornish cross. They're not the fast growing ones. They're just your run of the mill, average Cornish cross mixes. And these birds, they don't get so big to where when they're adults they crush themselves or anything like that. As you can see, they're fairly decent sized birds now, and they're just fine. And we are incorporating them in our tractors, and we're getting them used to the pasture raised, to them eating off pasture, just like all our birds here. Already genetically, they're birds that historically have pasture raised. So obviously from a sustainability aspect, that's when I'm talking about, preparedness and sustainability in food. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not putting thousands of pounds of rice and beans in a garage somewhere. I'm wanting to produce bigger, better tasting, heartier, healthier food. Food I can't buy at the grocery store because it just doesn't exist there. And obviously I want to focus on sustainable growth practices, healthy growth practices with, like I said, our ruminants and, those kinds of things. But I realize, depending on who the president is, different things are going to take priority. And while I love the quail, they're great. The amount of food that you can produce in an 8x4 is truly amazing. They're outstanding. But for me, this space would be better suited for my rabbits and really getting my rabbit projects. I want to take that completely to the next level. So that's going to be something that if I can, the quail are going to go bye-bye, and we're going to focus more on the sustainability projects. Like I said, the quail are great, but they do require food. They do require feed. And so from a sustainability aspect, I want to get as far away from that as possible. But as far as making money, they're a money maker. And the turkeys here, they're great. I like them, but we have, as you see, we have a hen and a tom. And they're great. They're awesome. I really like them. But at the end of the day, I know under a Trump presidency, there's going to be no problem getting more in the summer and springtime. I'm not worried about it. And yeah, but I do know that if we have a Biden-Kamala Harris win, then the eggs, those fertilized eggs, I might as well just keep incubating them and keep making money off of them, So these are the conflicting things that are going on. So for me, the presidency is going to be really telling. If Biden, Kamala Harris win, then, we're going to be full steam ahead, pumping out quail, rabbits, chickens, turkeys, ducks. We're going to be really focusing in on making sure that people in the local area have sustainable livestock animals, that people that are looking to have a more sustainable and prepared lifestyle are able to do those. So, if that's what happens, we're going to keep them, and we're going to continue doing operations as normal. If Trump becomes president, it's super simple. I can take a deep breath of a big sigh of relief, and I can focus on sustainability projects. I can focus on making sure that my food is even more sustainable than it is, making sure that the cattle are good, making sure that the sheep are good, making sure that the rabbits projects get bigger, make sure that I can really focus all my time and energy into making a very rugged, rough homestead bird. I'm going to do that either way, but I can really focus in on those because, like I said, the reality is if Trump becomes president. People are not going to be going out, splurging, trying to get their hands on livestock animals. It's not going to happen. So then I can focus purely on producing the most sustainable, healthy food that I can possibly do, and do so at the most sustainable level that I possibly can. And the truth is, can I really produce the perfect homestead bird? I don't know, but I can tell you these results are super, they give me a lot of hope. Just seeing that right there is just, wow, it's amazing, and I know we still have a long way to go, but these birds are just a month old, and to see what we're able to do is truly amazing. It's humbling, and it's very awesome that we're able to produce these results. And so that's really what I want to be focusing in on. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. And I know, like I said, I know that what I say is controversial, but I have my beliefs. I'm unapologetic about my beliefs. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't care about politics and politics isn't important. Like I said, every breath that we take, every purchase that we make, we are solidifying in a political process. And that's the truth, whether you like it or not. I'm not here to try to change your mind. I'm not here to, tell you that what you don't believe isn't valid. I'm just here to point out the facts to you. So with that being said, yeah, the election is something that we're looking at here on the homestead. And, I'm just giving you a very honest look as to what happens if either candidate is elected, what our initial reactions are going to be. So hope you guys like the video. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you think that I got this completely wrong, please use your words, articulate that in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If I'm wrong, let me know. I want to know. I want to have, I want to have dialogue, because that's the only way I get better. If I'm totally wrong and the way I homestead and the way I do things is just horrible, let me know. Help me be better. But like I said, use your words, articulate. Let's have a conversation. I hope you guys like the video. And as always, guys, long live the Republic. So I thought I was ready to publish this, but I always like to have, somebody look at it and kind of go over it just with a fine-tooth comb in case I miss something. And so I understand and I realize that it's important for me to, I guess, articulate even more, even though I feel like I said it perfectly. Whenever you make controversial statements, people will sometimes take you out of context. So I was told it was really important that I just say this very clearly. Under a Biden-Kamala Harris presidency, I can only expect them to do what they have already promised that they were going to do and what their policy states would already enact. So based upon the legislations of, anti-fracking, petroleum stuff, which I don't agree with, but I understand it's going to have a market effect based upon what they've already said about firearms, what they've already said about subsidies, what they've already said about tax brackets, what they have already said about increasing social programs, what they've already said in compliance to and allegiance towards certain social justice sectors. I find that for me, it's important to look at my homestead and look at and prioritize economic decision making that will allow me to have an economic ability to remain sustainable and afloat. Under a Trump presidency, I can expect to see the same more things I've already seen, right? And I can expect to see a priority set on jobs. I can expect to see a priority set on making rich business owners richer, right? I can see more subsidies being put towards big agriculture, which I'm against. I can see all these things happening. I know that under the Trump presidency, we got a huge tax break and I got a stimulus check. That's what happened under this presidency. So I can expect more of the aforementioned under this presidency. So what's important for me is to ensure the sustainability of my homestead is at its tip-top shape, because I know I can expect to see more crappy food grown and more crappy food expected to be thrown upon us by this president. I can expect to see more of the bull policies he's already done implemented. So given the realities of what we're looking at for each party and each candidate and what they bring to the table, I'm going to have to adjust myself accordingly, adapt, overcome. So that's brass tacks. That's what it comes down to. Obviously my opinions on things don't matter in that realm. My actions matter the most, and what I'm going to do. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to bury my head in my garage and just throw lots of food and rice and beans in that garage and say things are okay, because they're not. What I need to do is be a doer and do the things and ensure that I am as sustainable as possible. Not that I'm as prepper as possible, but I am as sustained as possible. I'm as sustainable as possible. And that is the overall goal. And that's what I have to look at. Either this from a sustainability mindset or from an economic priority aspect. And they're both a little different, but they will both allow me to reach my ultimate goals. One will just take longer. So I hope I explained that better. If not, I'm sure I'm going to see everybody's reaction in the comment section below, and maybe I'll put out a part 2. But that's all I have for you guys for today. As always, guys, long live the Republic.